So the Dikinaagan is a place that babies are put from birth until their first year of life. And the purpose behind the Dikinaagan was one for sleeping, but it was also for protection. And it was also used as a means of teaching. So when babies were in the cradle board, they were observing, they were listening, just there, just taking in everything in their environment. They were talked to in the language, and everyone would share with them what was going on. And they were told, you're going to be doing this someday. And the underlying element of that was to really teach patience and discipline and how to really take care of their own emotions. With the moss bag placed on the board, it was similar to when they were in the uterus, right? They were in an enclosed space. They were protected in that space. They also were, when babies would sleep on the board and in the moss bag on the board, and that was also a protective factor for sleep safety way back when they were awake. They were set upright so that they could observe. And when they were out doing, all the older relatives or caregivers were out doing tasks, they had a strap on it, and so they would hang baby up in a tree so that they would not be bothered by any animals that would come by. And the bow that's on there was for two reasons. One, to keep the baby safe, that if the board did fall in some way, that it wouldn't harm their head. And also it was a place to hang play items, trinkets, for baby to observe and to play with. During that first year, a lot of their development was based on their hearing and their visual and their touch. When they were in the cradle board. And it was also, like I said, it taught them some discipline, some self-control, patience, because they were always in that board and they weren't out running around, crawling around all the time. And so it really was a really good teaching tool. One of the things that I think is really probably the problem solving was getting their arms out of the confinement. Was how do you do that, right? When you're in this board and you're tied in, how do you get your arms out? So I think that was one of the first problem solving skills that babies had to learn initially. So the decoration of the cradle board was the creativity of the parents, and a lot of times it was also marked their clan on the cradle board so that everybody knew what clan the baby was.